ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी त्यागदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। तो
also described was Draupadī samskara. Parīkṣit Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj also has done rituals for the birth of Parīkṣit Maharaj. Yes, what Drupacharya.
yes, samskaras were performed for Pariksit Maharaj. Jatakarma samskara and samskara. So why samskaras are done?
Samskara. Now samskara for the proper inclination. Getting the
Samskaras, what they do? They,
Samskara writing.
yeah, especially Garbhadhan samskara, why they do? So to invite the pious soul, good progeny actually. So for that we need to go for Garbhadhan samskara. So this is the speciality of Sanatana Dharma. Yes, Sanatana Dharma means what? Huh? Means what? In a simple language, what Prabhupada is writing in the workbook, Sanatana Dharma means? Huh? He didn't write like that. Huh? In which purport it came? Sanatana Dharma. Search. Sanatana Dharma means, yeah, man's how we should live. So that's why Sanatana Dharma is not it's not a faith like Christianity, Muslims or Sikh. ये सभी ये faiths हैं, सब faith हैं. That is not the living uh, so style. It is not. They are not teaching. They are believing. They are promoting some thought. Believe this kind of personality as Supreme Lord. No, so like that. But Sanatana Dharma teaches how we should live in this nature. So Sanatana Dharma is nothing but Varnasrama Dharma. In that Sanatana Dharma, what is the major thing? Samskaras. Performing samskaras. The performing samskaras is the core part of Sanatana Dharma. The samskaras of the school of Sanatana Dharma are highly suitable for creating an atmosphere for taking advantage of good stellar influences. And therefore, Garbhadana Samskara are the first seedling purificatory process prescribed for the higher caste. Projector आपके पास. So Sanatana Dharma is not for any Hindus. It's not like that. Of course, Hindus they follow from the beginning, but it is for entire earth. Even for devotees also. This samskaras, performing samskaras are very much important. So then, in this class or in the previous class, I don't know. In another class, a evening class. So samskaras are performed based upon in this class. On Vedic process, Pancharatra process. So our Goswamis has given this system. How to perform these samskaras based upon Pancharatra system. So see, chanting Hare Krishna Mantra, promoting holy name, that should be there. That must. So that is Bhagavad Dharma that is meant for every living entity. So eternally, they should do that. But this Varnasrama Dharma or Sanatana Dharma is meant for everyone. Today, purport also you are reading the morning Bhagavad. What you are seeing. Varnasrama Dharma is Prabhupada writing as Bhagavad Dharma. Yes, in purport, today's purport. So, you are not there in the class. So, it's a Bhagavad Dharma. Varnasrama Dharma is known as Bhagavad Dharma because Varnasrama Dharma is also given by Lord. In that sense, it is said. Generally, Bhagavad Dharma means chanting Hare Krishna. It's a doing direct devotion is Bhagavad Dharma. You see in our diagram, this is Bhagavad Dharma. chanting Hare Krishna. That means pure devotional service is Bhagavad. The whole world is neglecting Sanatana Dharma, and also devotees were also neglecting Sanatana. They say since sense gratification is the highest, and we don't need to care for any rules and regulations. And similarly, devotees, we just chant Hare Krishna mantra. We replace everything. We replace everything with Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Kali means just chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that's why there is no need of following any samskara systems. These are all not possible. It's very complex. Just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and be happy. Is it true statement or not?
Not
Huh?
true, but not practical.
It's true, but it's not practical. Why?
But we are not at the stage.
Which stage?
Your
Who said this? We are not in. Huh? Where?
but no,
Yesterday he saying. So that's why it's not so easy actually. And also not so cheap. So philosophy is right. Mahaprabhu is rejecting with Raya Ramanan discussions. Yeah, it's a ihobahi, ihobahi. Yes, that's true. Varnasrama is excellent. Ultimately, pure love is attained by chanting holy names. That is a absolutely accepted truth. But being a living entity, you should do that for how many hours? 24 hours. Yes or no?
yes.
So doing direct devotion for a part-time job or full-time job? Or 24-hour job? Full-time means 8 hours. Part-time means 4 hours. It's a 24 hours means 24 hours. It's a 24-hour job or not? So simple. Philosophy is very easy and simple. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jivatma is part and parcel of him, and Jivatma's constitutional position is serving Krishna. That too, what kind of service? Direct service, not that indirect service. So you yourself identify as a Brahmana and do some activity through being a Brahmana and offering result of that dharma to the Lord. It is not a direct service. But Lord is expecting from you direct service or indirect service? Direct service. How many hours? 24 hours. This is known as pure devotion. So that's why everyone should come to this state, this platform. There is no doubt in that. And that is the thing Shastra is also telling all the time. Whole Bhagavad is again and again stressing on this point. So, but the point is, how many are there like that? So that is the issue actually. So that's why there should be some regulation to the jivas. Then, based upon what this regulation should be developed, this is the question. What can be the duty for this particular jivatma or this particular person? So, what can be? This is the question. Then, how you will answer this? See, absolutely, we are not. We are all spirit soul. We are all part and parcel of the Lord, and we should use everything, whatever we have, in direct devotion of the Lord. That is idealistic condition and is perfect. But someone who is not able to do that for all the time, 24 hours, then what you will do? What you will suggest? What should be suggested to him? What is his engagement then? Tell me. This is a question. Then, what is the answer? According to dharma. How to decide dharma? What is a varnashram dharma? How it is deciding? How it is getting? Based upon what? Character is based upon soul, or this character of the soul or body? Yeah. So this character is not belonging to soul, but this character is belonging to body. So now that means what is the character of the soul? Huh? Nityadas. Nityadasata is the character of soul. If everyone all the time able to do that, no issues. We are happy. Everyone able to act on that character, Nityadasata character. Fine. Then is there any issue? Is there any need of other dharmas? No need at all. No varnashram dharma, nothing is needed. This is the point Mahaprabhu is stressing to us. Because you are all part and parcel, we are all part and parcel of the Lord, and Nitya Dasata. Dasata means the character actually. Nature. This is the nature of the soul. That's why soul should do direct devotion. Because why direct devotion? Because soul and Lord, there should not be any other layer. Brahmana, this Upadhi should not be there. So that's why such a service is nothing but Shravanam Kirtanam only, which are direct devotions. So Mahaprabhu is pointing this to the Rai Raman, and this is the thing we want us. This is aspiration for everyone. We want to act on this. But people still, they are not in that situation to act like that. Maybe they can act for a few hours in a day. Then what about other hours? Other hours, what we should do? Then point comes. Can we give everyone commonly one duty? So now we have to observe the character of his body, psychophysic nature. After observing that, then based upon that psychophysic nature, he has to be trained as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, and also in ashram wise, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. He has to be trained like this. And these duties should be given and ask him to follow this, and whatever outcome comes when you do duty, you will be getting immediately what? When there is a dharma, there will be next. What is outcome of dharma? Artha, fruit. Artha will become. So this artha should be used for that jivatma, for his senses. No. For his sense gratification, can he use? No. So what he should do? He should offer to them. In this way, he is also doing bhakti, but it is not direct devotion. This is not recommended actually by our acharyas. If anyone says that I will do this kind of service 24 hours, whole life, Mahaprabhu will accept? No, Mahaprabhu will not accept. Mahaprabhu asking everyone should do direct devotion, Shravanam Kirtanam for all the time, 24 hours, like Haridas Thakur. So that's why now the simple actually phenomena is very easy. It's very clear, na philosophy. Our philosophy very simple and straightforward philosophy. Our Krishna conscious philosophy is very nice actually. So now that's why now where we are lacking? Where we are lacking in practical life? Where is lacking actually? Framework. Framework for training. So people based upon their psychophysic nature identifying, and based upon that what he should be done and giving training for that activity, that is missing. And also you should only doing this is not sufficient, so you should do that so that those who are not able to do 24 hours direct devotion, they will be so doing these occupational duties and offer that result to the Lord. But what is the important thing for them? This is happy. They are happy like that. They should be allowed only doing like that much. No, what should be done?
Should develop their aspiration to do this full time.
For that, what they should develop?
Aspiration.
What we term is what? They should develop. Term is there. Shastric term is there. They should develop Dhrtarāṣṭra. Symptom of Dhrtarāṣṭra is surrender. They should develop the Dhrtarāṣṭra. So this, how it is possible? This is possible by following their duties. No, it's not possible by just following. It is possible by hearing of hearing the glories and activities of pure devotees. How they are surrendered fully, how they dedicated their whole all the resources to the Lord and fully surrendered and able to do 24 hours direct devotion. So that you have to hear actually. Then you will be getting such a faith on Lord. Then you will easily reject your conditioning, your psychophysic nature, you will reject it and you will situated in I am not body, I am servant of the Lord. In this consciousness, you will be situated so that you are able to do desired thing, that is direct devotion. So this is the whole game actually. Your whole life you should remember this point. Whatever I discussed now, it should be remembered for you all the time. You should remember this. So, and your activities all should go in this direction. This is the guidance given by Shastra, Acharyas, and everyone. Any questions on this?
Thank you, Pradeep. Guidance से discussion चल रहा है. पहले से कुछ ये दिमाग में थी. So I understood, clarified very nicely. So as Krishna said in the 12th chapter, Maya Manasam. This is the first class. And if you can't do, then follow the practices, the right principles for devotional service. Can't do that, can't support Śaunaka. So Varnashram, जब भी ये आता है दिमाग में क्वेश्चन आता है तो it seems like of course एक तरीके से मोटा मोटा जैसे ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम की बात करें, ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम is already well settled rules, regulations, all these things are there. It is already under that, more or less. Service is also a different category, service and service, and everything is direct offering to Krishna. And because of the saintly association, so many saintly devotees come, so there is a great opportunity to develop Shraddha by hearing them, by seeing their lifestyle. So it is wonderful in itself, where we are progressing towards our next ashram. So it is, but majority where we feel that there is need of it, जहाँ पर they are not ready to come to this platform, they need some adjustment in lifestyle. Our breasts are some pretty huge in number. So for them, we have to give some framework like that where they can execute their occupational duties and same time they can such companies platform. But in Varnashram Dharma, the essential principle is that the activity should be directed for pleasing Krishna. And since everyone is a born Shudra, and the mentality is for the sense enjoyment. So in order to transform that mentality, because if they don't get transformation of mentality and they are admitted to Varnashram, then they'll not like have that attitude of serving Krishna. So जैसे आप कल शायद बोल रहे थे कि बचपन से आप जैसे प्रोजेक्ट बोल रहे थे कुछ ऐसे स्कूल्स में जहाँ पर हम पढ़ते हैं तो एक उस फ्रेमवर्क की तो निश्चित रूप से जरूरत है जहाँ पर अपने कम्युनिटी को बड़ी कम्युनिटी को या इस कम्युनिटी में कोई सस्टेन नहीं कर पा रहा है कि उसको कैसे हम सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं इसकी कम्युनिटी निश्चित रूप से उसकी जरूरत है लेकिन फिर उसमें भी आता है कि अब इसका मॉडल क्या होना चाहिए कैसे होना चाहिए डिफरेंट डिटेल्स है और शिल प्रभुपाद ने बहुत फोकस किया जैसे हमारी सारी बुक्स भी हैं, श्रीमद् भागवतम and भगवद गीता, all the books, everything is there. The constant hammering on Nimrati, constant hammering, giving up the sense gratification and taking Krishna service. So that must go on, irrespective of which ashram, which varna people they, that hammering, constant hammering must go. So that he may not forget, he may not settle down in that varnashram.
Yes.
Okay, this is my final goal, I am settled, I am following with them. Constant hammering must be go. And I feel this begins from everything begins from education. Even materialistic world, whatever is there, everything begins from education.
Yes.
So there is a need for propagating more of education and inspiring those who are inclined in that direction, like Rastas, inspiring them to give them like wonderful work you're doing, giving them suggestion, inspiring them. So उस तरीके से फिर धीरे धीरे करके, क्योंकि अगर ये कम्युनिटी जो selected community जो preaching पर focused है, if it get engaged in that settling up that thing, then the energy which should be utilized for propagating Bhagavad Dharma will be utilized setting up the pura slowly with it. So these are my some understanding and is
Yes.
correct.
Yeah. So how we should plan actually? This is the thing. Brahmacharis who are living in the cities, they should fully focus on preaching. That is their major duty actually. So I already last two classes I was focusing on preaching, and that to preaching also how they should do. Not just knowing your philosophy is not sufficient. I said you should know to convince the others. You should know the others' mindset, their philosophy, and loopholes in that should be very clear. So that anyway I discussed. So that's why Brahmachari's major role is assisting sannyasis. Sannyasis' major role is elevating people's consciousness spiritually. Sannyasi will not look after how to organize Varnasrama dharma. This is not the sannyasi's duty. So elevating spiritual consciousness of the society is the duty of sannyasi, and Naishtik Brahmachari's duty is assisting sannyasi, helping in the preaching activities. Okay. So here the main point is here, like yesterday Chandaneshwar also is raising the point. Here, how becoming actually, Prabhupada is also giving an example. Sannyasi, who can be sannyasi, is giving an example. One sannyasi, yeah, and 5 women he was attached, disclosed. Therefore, Varnasrama is required. Simply show bottle will not do. Varnasrama dharma should be introduced all over the world. So that's why here the main point is this show bottle should not work. So here the main, and he is saying sannyasi is meant for, what is that Prabhupada writing there? Next line. Where it is? Is for the sannyasa is for the highest qualified brahmana, and Naishtik Brahmachari only becomes sannyasi actually, mostly. Grahasthas also they will become vanaprastha and then after that sannyasis. That is very rare. Generally, Naishtik Brahmacharis are aspiring sannyasis actually. They should be a qualified brahmanas. Otherwise, what will happen? Naishtik Brahmacharya cannot be maintained. That's why the yesterday's discussion is after you left actually we were there a good discussion happened. So how to know the people's nature, and if people are in the rajas and tamas by nature actually by prarabdha, of course holy name will be destroying all this, but how much destroyed we don't know. So how much sincerely is doing and how much offensive chanting he is doing, how much results he got. But the safety measure is at least based upon his astrological chart, based upon his prarabdha. So we have to understand his psychophysic nature. So even people who are leaving the outside society and coming to us and staying in our society and our ashram, definitely we encourage that. But now, can we uniform? That means, can we aspire everyone for Naishtik Brahmachari as a qualified Brahmana? So this can be a workable method or not? This is the question. No? So can we expect that everyone can be a qualified Brahmana? This is the point. So if it is not, then people, because of impulsive encouragement, that means yes, yes, you have to dependent on Krishna. We didn't work out on him to develop Dhṛtarāṣṭra, but so just forcibly you should surrender like that. But to surrender, you should teach the Shastra and all his Asambhavana, Viparita Bhavana should be clarified. Then, with full understanding, then he will develop the faith. The outcome of understanding is it faith. So, deep understanding. So, it needs time also. So, but when we are forcing him to just to surrender, otherwise, he will not be so nice. So, initially, he's coming with some kind of some Loka Parampara Shraddha, somehow he came. So some good thing happening in his life because of Krishna, and some new thing he came to know in Krishna consciousness that he gave relief. Because of that, he joined with us, but he didn't develop Shastri Shraddha. And such a person now, how to guide? So how much time he will take to develop Shastri Shraddha and to become the eligible person to leave everything? Or otherwise, how much otherwise he can be a qualified Brahmana or not? Because nicely sannyasi is given for the Brahmanas only. Prabhupada is writing it. Sannyasi is for highest qualified Brahmana. Clearly Prabhupada is writing it. You can't, those who are Kshatriya nature and Vaishya nature, so they are intelligent. Definitely they will be intelligent, they will be understanding philosophy. But their nature will not allow them to be like a qualified sannyasi actually. Then in that case, what we should do? So that is the gap that needs. So our training program should be modified as per Prabhupada's desire. Like we should have Varnasrama college, where people's actually given privilege of understanding their nature, and there should be a measure of like even the in Bangalore also in Whitefield, our Karthikeya Prabhu and myself were discussing. So there should be some method to understand so nature actually, and whether he can be qualified Brahmana. So then that definitely will helpful for that candidate also for the movement also. And that's a personal character, assessing character, and based upon that, if we train, so that will be very nice. Because now movement is evolving, but initial movements of the initial period of our movement, we are missionaries and just for mission, whatever is needed that you do. So those who are standing, they are going like that. We pushed actually. But now what is happening? Aversion is increasing. Actually. People are leaving, and so that in emergency, definitely we should do that. Emergency, that means whatever nature, even apat dharma is also there. So in apat kala, even we don't bother about nature. Whatever should be done, should be done. So when a house is in the fire, at that time we can't peacefully sit and discuss what is your dharma, what is my dharma. Everyone should work for the so stopping that fire. So similarly, when emergency is there like that, when movement is initial days, because to establish temples and to become stand in the society, so very rigorously movement was pushed. But Prabhupada in 1977, when in the due course of time, he started saying, so there should be an education actually. So yes, Brahmana, Kshatriya, there should be a regular education. Prabhupada is saying this. Otherwise, so society cannot sustain. Things will not, so stably cannot move forward. So that's why, as your question is asked, you are asking. So there should be some understanding of qualified Brahmanas. There should be some kind of method to know that. And we should definitely use all their energy for preaching. But those who are not able to become a qualified Brahmana, and those actually in the mode of passion ignorance, that nature is there. Nature stopping is not so easy thing actually. It takes so many years. So that's why the stepping stone is Varnashram Dharma. That will lift you from your nature actually. when you have a duty based upon your nature, and you are asked to do that duty irrespective of conditions. Even there is a cold is there, you are a Brahmana, you should get up and do Sandhyavandana. It's not that it's the winter season cold, I didn't take bath and I can't do, you can't. You can't stop like that. So this duty is what it will live. Of course, they are also helping you to come out from the bodily conditioning only. Because dharma is said, that means you should do at any cost. In any situation, even there is a pain or pleasure, you should hold it, you should bear it, and you should do. So that's why Varnasrama Dharma is also is lifting us from our nature, actually, come out from our so-called nature. So this is a method we should. That means I am saying to come out from nature, it takes some time. So parallelly, we should keep on discussing Shraddha, to increase Shraddha, the glories of the Bhakti and the devotees. So now you should, for preaching sake, we should take the dedicated people who are Brahmanically inclined and push them to act for the Brahman preaching activities. That should be going on. If that is not going there, then where is the uh, input actually? There will be no input then. So, and people who are inclined so to Vaishya activities and Kshatriya activities, so and also Shudra activities, let them do that. So learn that, maybe they may stay in our ashram for 5 years and learn those skills and then get married, no problem, like in a guru. And people who are inclined to preach, so the symptoms of mode of goodness, if he is showing, and his intelligence is clear, and his understanding and ability to read, and let them use so for preaching all the time. That energy should go. So that's why now we should give training for helping the people. Not that I want this service in the temple and just we should not just treat people as a resource and I should achieve this and let them use for. Then after that he failed to do that in a long run. So then we should not blame him. Oh, he gone. वो तो कर नहीं पाया बस बेकार है वो ऐसा नहीं बोलना चाहिए तब तो वो व्यक्ति का मन खिन्न हो जाएगा बहुत दुखी हो जाएगा वेरी बैड ना फॉर हिम so like that so that means more mature training Prabhupada only saying na? So this is see you see so yes Brahmana Shraddha there must be regular education. This education is now we are trying to fit everyone to become a qualified Brahmana. Everyone should become preacher and qualified Brahmana, and we have no provision or no framework to understand the nature and guide them as per. Even Grahasthas also outside, they are also doing Ugra Karma. So there is no educational training for them to find out their nature and accordingly they should do the karma and offer that to the Lord. Then they will be in the mode of goodness and that will help them to understand the pastimes of Lord and pure devotees and develop Shraddha quickly. So that's why so now it is just it's awareness camp now. Then gradually we should have a framework step by step. So yes.
Often, when two things mix, see, one is a case of sorry, one is a case of teaching and outside. So I think we should have clear understanding national dharma in Brahmacharis, national teaching, the teaching part of it. So when it comes to like so when we talk about here in the Brahmachari ashram, so certainly the training is required, regular training is required so that devotees can take up the services of nature. But the primary factor would be like coming, developing the brahmanic qualities. Draupadī Sanatana Goswami quoted Kanchan
Yeah.
by process of initiation in bronze and gold. So that should be the constant process by such a great fortune devotee association here. So many singers coming, singers coming. तो यहाँ पर everyone should be engaged in some duties like that, and training must be there to identify the services that we have to take. And then everyone should be aspiring for Bhagavad Dharma, whereas like rapidly, if he is able to sustain and grow here, then बहुत अच्छा opportunity उसके अंदर होता है. लेकिन उसके लिए फिर आप जैसे बोल रहे थे training coming side, he should have the proper check and training. He should have developed sufficient faith so that he can continue the journey. So ये इसका aspect हो गया. इसके लिए तो I feel कि like जो existing system है उसी system में introduce the training things, engagements and that would be sufficient. When we talk about the Varnasrama college, that is like engaging the other side more. They're focusing on is that true?
Varnasrama college actually, Prabhupada plan, if you see, there are 4 phases: Sankirtan, temple worship, initiation, and next is Varnasrama college. That means those who took initiation, that means they developed at least some extent of faith on the Lord, at least 2 hours of chanting. So those devotees, so has to be given training to live in a community as per their Varna. So now our Brahmachari ashram is also part of Varnashrama college. Varnashrama is Varna and Ashrama college. The full that in that Brahmana Brahmachari that we took out as a small part actually. So that's why we bringing the people for this. That means to become a Brahmana and also to become a Brahmachari. Generally, Brahmachari, that means Naistic Brahmachari, for the Brahmanas only, Brahmanical character Brahmachari. So, Kshatriya or Vaishya ke liye to nahi allowed. So, that's why we are looking for Brahmanical Brahmacharis. So, that is for that you have some system now. So, those, like when you preach, you will be getting these so many varieties of people. So, now you should have a provision of how to identify Brahmana Brahmacharis. And such a people you can encourage to be Naistic Brahmacharis. And remaining who are there, we are living till now actually. That means who are not fit for us, we are saying leaving, you go and you do whatever you want to do. That should not happen. That is my point. So for that, we should have another provision. Like they should be also with us. They should be also having some training. And after that, they should be living in a community. That should be there actually. They may get married because they are not Brahmana, Brahmachari, so they should be getting married and they should be also with us. They should be also getting association. We can't say that you are not able to do that, then we are not bothered. No. Then we should embrace the whole society. That is the Prabhupada mood actually. So that's why now what you have to get a efficiency in your, like now people are living so in different levels actually. Also to at least some extent we can try by guiding from the beginning. So by having some standard methods of checking up Brahmana Brahmacharis who are qualified for to be a Naistic Brahmacharis and sannyasis. That can be. And for who are not there, then we should give some another provision, training for them. But bhakti should be for everyone. That's no doubt in that. But what can be their occupation? What can be that? Means 24 hours they are not able to do na direct devotion. Then what is the alternative for them? If we say to go to the outside society, they will engage in Ugra Karma. That Ugra Karma is spoiling them. So that's why we should have that. And but people who are already we are preaching to congregation also. And what about them? So they are already in the Ugra Karma and they are in the family. So if they want to change their occupation, we should have a provision that is also Varnasrama college. Will help for them also. Like that.
So, I mean, we're talking with respect to Brahmachari ashram. वहाँ से शुरू करते हैं सोसाइटी करके फिर उधर दूसरी साइड का टीचिंग पढ़ता है. तो इसमें एक तो जैसे आप बता रहे ब्राह्मण ब्रह्मचारी या फिर any varnas with sufficient faith.
That's why na.
Two qualifications can
Two qualifications can be. So generally Brahmana Brahmachari, and if someone have such a strong faith and he is showing the good extent of full surrender symptoms.
Yes, practices.
So anything if you do, I will do. So such a faith, because faith is not linked with the Varna. You understand? Faith is completely comes from the mercy of pure devotee and by studying the Bhakti Shastras. So this if you are able to cultivate, so then you can ask him to not to go to the unnecessarily the material life. Varna and ashrama. That means doing this because he can able to engage himself in direct devotion. Whatever you give, he's ready to do, and he will remember Krishna all the time. If such a faith, if you see, then you can keep. But that we have to also check actually. That is also another measure actually.
Yeah, or he is having faith in the practices, strong faith in the practices, consistency in the practices.
Yes.
So eventually he develop that faith also. I mean, he's having faith and he's having practices also.
So the faith in what? That's why you should understand the term faith. Faith is also a big term actually. This is also it needs the deep understanding. Faith is not just on the just a common word. It is in a Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Faith is a technical word actually. This has to be known through our Acharya's commentary. So the symptoms of faith is given in Bhakti Sandarbha. If someone have faith, what are his symptoms? That should be understood so that you can assess that this faith is how deep and how technical this is. Yeah, if someone have that, they can.
So फिर उसके बाद में what trait that you suggest again when he has come with these two qualifications?
Yeah.
One Brahman Brahmachari and faith. Prabhupada says Shraddha Sabda Vishwasi. I mean, he has
Strong faith.
strong faith.
Not this simply weak faith. Yeah.
Yeah. So उसके बाद में he is a part of this Varnasrama, part of Brahmachari ashram.
Then he will be doing brahmachari. Like who has strong faith, for him, brahmachari is duty is only superficial. Only to set an example he will be doing, but his whole consciousness is how to expand the mission, how to preach. This should be his goal, and he will be trained to and engage in for preaching whatever he need. That everything can be achieved through him. So and brahmanas, they're brahmanical. Also, they can very easily, quickly develop. So, you can engage them in the Brahmanical activities like temple worship, like preaching, teaching, all these things. So, those who from other Varna type nature they have, but still they have strong faith, you can engage them for the temple, whatever activities are required, like construction or anything, you engage them for that. So, because he has full faith, he can do anything. Because he surrendered. Anything if you give, he is ready to do that. He has no such a conditions like that. So, but my point is, our approach should be based upon Shastra, not just half-baked or whimsical. That should not. Prabhupada very nicely, clearly, he's giving all his instructions are important. And we should take a cumulative understanding, and based upon that, we should have a practical systems actually, practical systems reflecting the philosophy. Actually, you see, Varnashram only the one, only Varnashram only. But what is happening? You see in our diagram. How can you say Daya Varnashram is a little different? So Karmis also, they are also having the divisions in their society based upon nature. They do have duties based upon their nature. They do dharma, and after that doing dharma, so they whatever result they get, that they will use for sense gratification. This then he is known as karmi. Karmi is also having duties. He is also following Vedas. He is also following the dharma as per Shastra. Otherwise, he can't be called as karmi. He will be called as vikarmi. So karmi also follows Shastra and Shastric duties. But only the difference is with the devotees and karmis, what they are doing karmis, they are using the result of outcome of the dharma for sense gratification, not for serving the Lord. So that's a their varnashram system. That means in the karmi society also varnas are there, ashramas also there. So they more, but they focus on only brahmachari and grihastha. That's all. For them, vanaprastha and sannyasi are useless. So that's a whole life till the end of their life they will be in the grihastha and keep on enjoying this. So example is Kumaril Bhatta. If you see, is one of the karma mimamsak. Is at the time of Kumaril Bhatta, you know, all of you. That's Sankaracharya's debate in movie. Sankaracharya movie watched. Prabhakar Mishra and Kumaril Bhatta. Yeah, Guru and Shishya both. So they that Mimamsakas, Karma Mimamsakas, they say Vanaprastha and sannyasis are useless ashramas. Of course, in the Shastra, they say that those who are nikammas, जो काम नहीं करना चाहिए, काम चोर लोगों के लिए ही सब. So they don't give any importance for the Vanaprastha and sannyas. This is the thing, karmis. But they do accept 4 ashramas and 4 varnas. And what about this category people? Those when the karmis get the association of jnanis, and this society of people, what they do, they also have their varnas and their ashramas and their duties, their result from their duties, but they are, because they are preached and they understood Brahman is the highest realization. So to get that realization, they offer the result of karma to the Lord with a detachment. So that's why here this Varnashrama people's goal is so offering result of karma to the Lord with detachment. This is known as impersonalist Varnashrama. Who told this? Bhakti Siddhanta is writing in Brahmana Vaishnava letter in that magazine, actually, his essay actually. There you can find this. Tossing these names is done by Bhakti Siddhanta. This is Karmi Varnashram, this is an impersonalist Varnashram, and this is when Karmi get association of devotee. Devotee may be Pradhani Bhuta Bhakta and Kevala Bhakta. When he get association of Pradhani Bhuta Bhakta, so those Karmis will not aspire for pure devotion. But they do, they also have the Varnashram Ashramas, and they do offer the result of their karma to the Lord with love. And these people also, those karmis who got, you can see in these 2 parts are there. Two divisions you can take in the case of devotees. So this is a regular Varnashrama. And this I call as Daivarna. I means we, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is calling. So who will be in Daivarnashram Dharma? Karmis, they who got the pure devotees association. For them, these people, for them, Varnashrama is not permanent occupation. It's not eternal occupation for them. Their understanding is to leave Varnashram Dharma, they are aspiring. So now they are following now Varnashram Dharma to leave it by developing their Shraddha. So such a people's Varnashram is Daivarnashram. Okay, they don't want to continue this Varnashrama duties for whole life till the end. Even if they, after getting Dhruva Shraddha, they may do, but only for others' sake they do. But consciously they left that. So that's why that is the Daivarnashram, our Acharyas. So that's why Sanatana Dharma means dividing people based upon nature and giving the duties. This is Sanatana Dharma. It's for everyone actually. He may be karmi, personalist, or devotee, anyone he is. Everyone should follow this. This is eternal duty actually, eternal for. And in this major thing is samskaras. Now Kali Yuga, Vedas and Vedic Pandits are not there, so that's the samskara should be done based upon Pancharatra Vidhi, which is given by our Acharyas.
Can you explain? You are explaining about the Pradhanibhuta. I am asking about the Pradhanibhuta devotee.
Okay.
You said Pradhanibhuta devotee do his prescribed duty and offer it to the Lord with love and devotion. Is it not that Prabhu Pradhanibhuta devotee do karma for the devotee? It's not that he is doing dharma and after that he is offering the result.
So the Pradhanibhuta devotee is also many types. Why, like you, types of bhakti you read, bhakti prakara you attend. We did not here bhakti prakara course. No?
No.
Bhakti prakara course we didn't do here. Okay. Pradhanibhuta bhaktas also many types. Like Pradhanibhuta bhaktas are majorly karma mishra bhaktas, gnana mishra bhaktas, karma gnana mishra bhaktas. Once again, karma mishra bhaktas are so sakama, kaivalya kama, bhakti matra kama. So what kind of bhaktas association is karmi got? That depends. So if someone got the some karmi got the association of bhakti matra kama, karma mishra bhakta, then those people they do karma mishra bhakti to please the Lord and bhakti is goal for them. So then they will go to the Vaikuntha and they get service there. But kaivalya kama karma mishra bhaktas, those will be doing varnasrama dharma and finally they will be getting salokya mukti. They don't get any mukti, any service in Vaikuntha. Once again, categories are there in that. Okay. Okay. Let us very. Any questions? Because this is very, very important. If you understand this concept, then things are very.
मुझे समझ में आ रहा इवन इंगेजमेंट की तरफ से देखा जाए तो उसके लिए वर्णाश्रम की आवश्यकता है टेम्परेरी
हाँ एंगेजमेंट के लिए और कुछ नहीं दे तो
और मेजर पार्ट उसका साधना का प्योर भक्ति रहेगा जो
प्योर भक्ति में जाने के लिए सत्वगुण में रखने के लिए ही वर्णाश्रम का मेजर रोल कुछ भी नहीं सत्वगुण में रखने के लिए नहीं तो क्या होते हैं विकर्म करेंगे अभी 24 घंटा में 8 घंटा भक्ति कर पाए मान लीजिए डायरेक्ट डिवोशन बाकी टाइम वो विकर्म मिश्र भक्ति करे मैंने विकर्म करके उसका रिजल्ट साफर कर तब क्या होगा वो कैंडिडेट का चेतना इतना पुल्लिट हो जाता है वापस 8 घंटा भक्ति करने में आने में बहुत दर्द होता है तो इसीलिए आप उनको इतना नीचे ले जा रहे हैं एक दिन में कुछ आवर्स में उनका चेतना को आप इतना नीचे ले जा रहे हैं उसको वापस ऊपर लाना मुश्किल हो जा रहे हैं और दूसरा मेन बात है कि तो उससे क्या होता है वो अगेंस्ट इट इज आल्सो चैलेंजिंग हिज फेथ he is depending on vikarma even after knowing that this is not recommended by Lord in Bhagavad Gita because Lord clearly describes what are the duties for 4 varnas Rishi Goraksha Vanijyam Vaishya Karma Sabha and so and how to live Annad Bhavanti Bhutani everything he did even after studying all this and being he is the future aspirant of Dhṛtarāṣṭra if he is not able to put faith on Bhagavad Gita, which is spoken by the Lord, and not able to live according to that, that is challenging his faith actually. Then what kind of faith he has on the Lord's instructions and Guru's instruction? So that's why if you understand the symptoms of faith, so Sanatana Goswami writes, working under non-devotees is also the symptom of not having faith. This much he said actually. Very, very important point. You simply should not. You are saying that anyway I am depending on non-devotees only for livelihood. Hey, livelihood के ऊपर भी आप जो भगवान को मानते ही नहीं उसके पास क्यों जाना है livelihood? माने subtly consciousness को आप examine करेंगे, it is proving that you have no faith on still. So that's a Krishna consciousness is very easy, also it is very difficult. In yesterday's evening class, we are seeing that in the case of Dhruva Maharaj. So, and also, this food is very contaminated. Even we are eating, which is produced by the fertilizers and pesticides and tractors, We may think that what kind of sin I am doing, but no, everyone is involved in that. So this is leading to killing of the cows. It is leading to that means leading to neglecting of the cows. That means it is leading to creating the no importance of the cows in the society. So in this way, it is a damage. That means you are indirectly going against the principles of caring the cows and so on. So, which is especially mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, Goraksha. You mentioned or not, Goraksha. So then you are not sensitive to this. Actually, serving cows is also not an ordinary thing, actually. It's not an ordinary thing. And we want to servant of the Gopal. And Krishna says, Namo Brahmani Go Brahman Hitaya. Cha Jagat Hitaya. So many cows and Brahmanas, especially cows, they have a specific importance. And now you are indirectly helping cow killers, your food habits and your consumption, everything, and that is leading to the sin in your account, actually. And that is also polluting your consciousness, and that will lead you to not to understand the subtle things of the bhakti. It will not help. It will close the doors, actually. It's very implications, actually. You may think that now then everything is sinful. How, Prabhu? So that's why Prabhupada wanted actually revival of the entire society. But even if you are not able to revive in your life, but if you endure sincerely, that sincerity so wash away this dosha actually. Then yeah.
So मतलब मुझे समझ में आ रहा है कि it is the Varnasrama system that we have planned. It is a support system
Yes.
to those who are not able to develop their firm faith and those who are not from Brahmanical qualities. So it is a support system to them. Rather, it's not a main system for them as a preaching. It is a support system to Bhagavad Dharma that we are preaching to them. उसके साथ में एक support system जो तो Bhagavad Dharma follow.
Yeah, definitely. It's simply support system. That's why it is a bahya. We are not, in the diagram also, we should leave this system and enter into the pure devotion. The system is not for, you should not continue your faith on this system till the end of the life. No. Then that is proving the no faith on direct devotion.
Even the beginning also.
Even the beginning also. Beginning also, you should not keep faith on this system like pure devotion, like direct devotion. So direct devotion 24 hours is nothing but pure devotion. You should not give in your heart any time equal importance. उससे आपका व्यभिचारता आएगा. It's not the व्यवसायत्मिक बुद्धि. Even for outsiders also, you should preach from the beginning. Yeah. Like Brahmacharis का है. Yes. Exclusively. Even for the outside also. Yes. It is like main system and then Bhagavad Dharma. It is support system. So no, it's only system, not main. If you say main, then it will be dangerous. Okay. That's the Suddha Bhakti is exclusive, Nargate. 0-1. One should have exclusive faith in only direct devotion. But you should take, and you should also follow this only to set an example to society. That's why Jnana Karma the Anavrutam. If you have faith on Varnasrama system, then your bhakti is Avrutam. Your bhakti will be in the Avrutam. So you should follow Varnasrama Dharma without putting the faith on that this is only one you the Krishna Prema, or otherwise this is needed to do my direct devotion, Suddha Bhakti, this is needed. These are all dangerous actually. This is not allowed actually. Subtle point here. So what you should develop? You should develop exclusive faith on Suddha Bhakti, and Varnashrama you should not have faith. But that is, since you don't have eligibility now to do that, you have to practice Varnashrama. That's obviously for you. And to preach also you should follow. Otherwise, majority of society will do vikarma if you don't set an example. That's why Yudhishthira Maharaj is doing samskaras for his child, for his grandchild. And otherwise, he is a pure devotee. What is the need of these all samskaras? If king is not following samskaras, then everyone will leave the whole country, whole kingdom. Then full chaos. Then that's it. If you will be reading in the fourth canto, 22nd chapter, and also fifth canto, seventh chapter, sixth sloka. So Bharatmana story. There you will be seeing there are so many pure devotees. They follow Varnasrama dharma for preaching sake, for setting an example to others. And we should, that means those who develop full Shraddha, they should preach Varnashrama Dharma for others' sake, not for his own bhakti. Okay.
जहाँ तक मुझे समझ में आ रहा है जो जय वर्णाश्रम है वो एक सपोर्ट सिस्टम है जो फर्म फेथ को डेवलप करने की।
Yes, exactly.
और क्योंकि फर्म फेथ का मतलब ये है कि वो शुद्ध हो गया।
हाँ, ना, शुद्ध नहीं।
एक मतलब कॉन्शियसनेस
सरेंडर हो गए। हाँ, अभी शुद्धता के लिए डायरेक्ट डिवोशन करने के लिए वो रेडी हो गया।
मतलब उस फर्म फेथ जो कॉन्शियसनेस है उसे लाने के लिए भी हमें जय वर्णाश्रम की आवश्यकता है।
क्यों? क्योंकि फर्म फेथ कैसा डेवलप होता है? शुद्ध भक्तों से, भक्ति शास्त्रों सुनने से। लेकिन भक्ति शास्त्रों सुनने से आप रजोतमो गुणों में रहेंगे, तब आपको वो जो बोल रहे हो अंदर घुसता है, प्रोसेस नहीं कर पाएंगे। जैसे आप लाल चश्मा पहन के देखेंगे तो सब कैसे दिखते हैं? लाल दिखेगा। जैसे आपका इंटेलिजेंस रजोगुण से युक्त हो गया, तब तो आपका इंटेलिजेंस उस भक्ति तत्वों को ग्रास्प नहीं कर पाती है।
तो मुझे जैसे फर्म फेथ अगर उसका डेवलप हो गया तो मतलब जय वर्णाश्रम को कंटिन्यू भी कर सकता है।
कर सकता है, लेकिन हृदय में उसके प्रति फेथ माने कृष्ण प्रेम को प्राप्त करने के लिए जरूरी है इस प्रकार की फीलिंग नहीं रहना। कृष्ण प्रेम केवल शुद्ध भक्ति में डायरेक्ट डिवोशन से 64 लिंग से प्राप्त होता है। सच ए बैलेंस्ड अंडरस्टैंडिंग से चलना है हम लोगों का भी सोसाइटी में। You should not cover pure devotion, direct devotion by Varnashma duties. Also, you should not neglect when it is needed for the people who are not in the pure devotion. That need also you should not neglect. Like such a balanced way we should. As it is, as per Shastra, we should do. Not just whimsically. Then it is dangerous for the society. Because you people are the future leaders, so you people should be having a proper, complete understanding. That will be going to change the society. That's very important. 29. इति राज्ञा उपादिश्य विप्रा जातक कोविदा लब्धा पचितयः सर्वे प्रतिजग्मुः स्वकान् गृहान् प्रतिजग्मुः स्वकान् गृहान्। इस लाइन से ऐसा आएंगे, ऐसा जाएंगे और ऐसा।
Thus, those who are expert in astrological knowledge, as evolved ceremony, instructed him to say about the future history of his child, and being sumptuously treated, they all return to their respective places.
These Brahmanas, so they are very learned Brahmanas. They know how to calculate future of a child based upon the astrological calculations, position of the stars and planets, and they told all the things about Pariksit Maharaj. And it's a duty actually. Brahmanas should be given charity. So, and also respect. Yudhishthira Maharaj did, and then they left to the. So we'll read purport. Vedas are the storehouse of knowledge, but material and spiritual. But such a knowledge aims at perfection of self-realization. That's why the total Vedic knowledge goal is self-realization only. That means Krishna realization, becoming pure devotee. So whatever Ayurveda, Jyotishya, whatever Shastras, even Dhanurveda, any other Vedangas and Vedas, the ultimate purpose of all these things, why we should have Ayurveda? Ayurveda will keep your body nice so that you can practice bhakti. What is the use of the Dhanurveda? Is a fighting science or war science. What is the use? So you can protect your country and you can engage them all in devotion like this. In other words, the Vedas are the guides for the civilized man is in every respect, since human life is the opportunity to get free from all material miseries. It is properly guided by the knowledge of the Vedas in the matters of both material needs and spiritual salvation. That's why Veda is only the pramana for us for material life and also spiritual life. In a family, how father should be behaving, how mother should be behaving, this also we should learn from Veda only. It's not a common sense. It is the Vedic science. Varnasrama, dharma. It's all the an ashrama, grihastha all the characters, what they should behave, what they should do. So that's why Veda is for everyone in this on this whole planet. So man-made scriptures like Quran, Bible, all these things can't be Veda actually. It should be what? Apaurishaya. So Apaurishaya Shastra. So even if some people they write, like even in case we have Narada Bhakti Sutras or Narada's Pancharatra, it is also man-made. But the point is what? This Narada is approved by Veda as a maharaja. That's why whatever is given by him is also accepted. But someone who is not authenticated by Veda and he is coming and speaking, and he is equating himself with Narada, and I am also like your Narada, I am giving my scripture, you also accept. It will not work. It should be referred. Even Mahaprabhu, we are accepting as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why? Anyone can be Mahaprabhu. Anyone can be like that. Why we are accepting Mahaprabhu as Supreme Personality of Godhead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Huh? Bhagavatam is saying this. Krishna Varnam, Tisha Krishnam, Sangopanga Sapasha. So since Bhagavatam is saying that's right, Jiva Goswami established this in Sarva Samvadini of Tattva Sundarbha. So that's why for us, Pramana is Veda. Of course, these Vedas are coming from Lord, but we can't approach Lord without Vedas. So that's why it is properly guided by the knowledge of the Vedas. And in the matters of both material needs, that's why material life is also should be organized as per Vedas. And this whole creation is also done based upon Veda only, Vedic knowledge. So Brahmaji did the secondary creation, how he is able to do? Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavayi. When Lord revealed in his heart Vedic knowledge, based upon that he is able to do creation. That's why in every Brahma's creation, dog is always barking and cat is always meow meow. It's not that cat is barking and dog is meow meow. Why this is only is this clearly is happening? Because they all Brahmas follow one standard knowledge, that is Veda. That's why creation is same. All these 84 lakhs. So that's why if you want to know how to conduct your material life, you should follow Veda. Not that common sense. No. There is nowhere it is given that common sense is also one of the pramana. The common sense is a type of anumana pramana, but that cannot be a standard one. That is defective actually. Now we have common sense, like a father will never do marry with the daughter. Why? It's not common sense because it's a culture given to us from the Vedas. That's why we are behaving like that. But if you see the places, some societies where there is no this kind of culture, they are doing that. We never marry the uncle, that means चाचा की बेटी को शादी नहीं करते है ना? करते हैं क्या इधर? नहीं है ना? कोई भी नहीं करते। चाचा का बेटी को कोई करते हैं क्या? ताऊ का चाचा का नहीं करते। और चाची का माँ की मौसी मौसी बोलते हैं। मौसी करते हैं क्या? नहीं। लेकिन कुछ कल्चर्स में, कुछ सोसाइटीज में करते हैं। Because this is the Manu Smriti, which is based upon Vedas. Manu is also set by Veda as an authentic personality. That's why whatever given by him we accept. And it is teaching us not to marry. चाचा की लड़का को शादी नहीं करना, लड़की को शादी नहीं करना. That's it. It's not common sense. It is given by Veda. Varnasrama dharma is given. That means a living style. That's why Sanatana dharma is nothing but what? Is a living, it's a living, it is nothing but the living style. Jivana Shaili, Jivan Vidhan. It is given by Veda. साउथ इंडिया जैसा माने मामा की लड़की को करते हैं, जैसा वेद में तो है, अर्जुन भी किया, वो बुआ की. वसुदेव क्या होते हैं? मामा होते हैं ना. तो कुंती का भाई वसुदेव, वसुदेव की पुत्री सुभद्रा है ना. तो सुभद्रा को शादी की अर्जुन, तो मामा की बेटी हो गई या नहीं? वो हम लोग भी करते हैं साउथ इंडिया. Is there? Aristocratic families they do. Not everyone they do. In South Indians, very rarely they do. Not even so regular. Very rarely we can see that. Most of the time they go very far out. It's not a regular, everyone they do like that. The specific intelligent class of men who were devoted particularly to the knowledge of the Vedas were called Vipras, or the graduate of Vedic knowledge. So Vipra means who are graduated in Vedic knowledge. Brahmana means Brahmani Charati iti Brahmana. Vipra means those who know the Veda. They are known as Vipra. There are different branches of knowledge in the Vedas, of which astrology and pathology. Pathology means Ayurveda, like testing the diseases, are two important branches necessary for common man. So the intelligent men, generally known as the Brahmanas, took up all the branches of knowledge to guide society. Even the department of military, Brahmanas are the teachers. Even military science also they teach. Generally, Kshatriyas they teach, but Brahmanas also. Example, Dronacharya and Draupadī. Anyway, you can read these things. Huh? The word Vipra mentioned here is significant. There is a little difference between a Vipra and a Brahmana. Vipras are those who are expert in Karma Kanda or fruitive activities, guiding the society, so fulfilling the material necessities of life, whereas the Brahmanas are expert in spiritual. Brahmani Charati iti Brahmana means spiritually advanced people are known as Brahmanas. Who are expert in the Karma Kanda are known as Vipras. So, that's the thing. The culmination of Upasana Kanda is devotional service by the Lord, devotional service of the Lord Vishnu. And when the Brahmanas achieve perfection, they are called as Vaishnavas. So when we follow, when Brahmanas mature, when Brahmanas achieve perfection, they are called as Vaishnavas. If you see in our diagram also, when you bring these karmis and you make them, when you teach them bhakti, and when you make them to offer their result to the Lord with love, even Shudra also comes to the Brahminical platform. That means he also comes to the mode of goodness, even Shudra also. That doesn't mean that he needs to change his duty. He should continue his duty as Shudra. But now, because of following Varnasrama and offering that out of love to the Lord, so it will raise his consciousness to mode of goodness, and they are all now in Brahminical platform. And such a people, they will be qualified to become Vaishnava actually. So they can easily become Vaishnavas. This is the point actually Prabhupada had. So, elevated Brahmanas are Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. And thus, Bhagavatam, which is the science of devotional service, is very dear to the Vaishnavas. Okay? So, the Jataka expert Vipras were good astrologers who could tell all the future history of a born child simply by astral, astral calculations of time, Lagna. Such expert Jataka Vipras were present during the birth of Maharaj Pariksit. Maharaj Yudhistira awarded Vipras sufficiently gold and so on. There is a need of such a Vipras in the social structure, and it is the duty of the state to maintain them comfortably as designed in the Vedic procedure. Such expert Vipras, being sufficiently paid by the state, could give free service to the people in general, and thus this department of Vedic knowledge could be available for all. This is Prabhupada statement. Next, Sayesh Loke Vikyata Parikshiditi Yat Prabhu Purvam Drishtamanudhyayan Pariksheta Nareshviha Pariksheta Nareshviha.
So his son would become famous in the world as Parīkṣit, examiner, because he would come to examine all human beings in search of that personality whom he saw before his birth. Thus he would come to constantly contemplate.
So this Parikshit Maharaj, so king, examine all human beings in such. And after taking birth, Parikshit means examining. So because in the 7th month, that first experience is what for him? Krishna's form is his first experience. Such a beautiful form he saw. Parikshit Maharaj in the womb, first object for his eyes is what? Krishna's form. And first object for his mind is what? Krishna's form. Because of this, he got such an extraordinary thing from the first experience. So he's keep on looking for such a form after coming out. He's examining. He is that person, and not satisfied. Since he's examining everyone, his name is examiner. Parikshit means examiner. Child Parikshit, after coming out of the womb, was in the habit of examining everyone to see whether he was the same personality whom he first saw in the womb. But no one could be equal to or more attractive than Lord, and therefore he never accepted him. He never accepted anyone. But the Lord was constantly with him by such examination. And thus Maharaj Parikshit was always engaged in devotional service or remuneration. क्यों प्योर डिवोटी? बचपन से प्योर डिवोटी. वो इस एग्जामिन हर वक्त करते था, इसीलिए उससे भगवान की श्रवण कीर्तन विष्णु स्मरण हो रहा. That's why he is always engaged in devotional service. Through this. So that's why those who are Krishna conscious people, so they are also always in Krishna conscious. Their heart always remembers, chants, or hears the Lord's names forms. So, ऐसा बनना चाहिए वही कृष्णा कॉन्शियस. अभी हम लोग नेचुरली हार्ट में लस्ट आता है ना, एनवियसनेस, ग्रीड, यही आता रहता है, इसी का छाया बना रहता है एक्चुअली. उसी की छाया में हम लोग बैठे रहते हैं, एनवी करना किसी से, जेलस करना और लस्ट घूमता रहता है चेतन. बहुत क्लीनिंग करना पड़ेगा, इतना क्लीनिंग बहुत करना है. We are very far, really I am saying, we are very 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 far from real Krishna consciousness. थोड़ा सा है. 10 मिनट भी हमारा मन स्थिर नहीं है भगवान का. कई घंटों हम पूर्ण रूप से भगवान को भूल के रहते, उनकी क्रिएशन में रम जाते, है ना? डीपली रम जाते. So, but it is not an impossible process. We should. Srila Jiva Goswami remarks in this connection that every child, if given an impression of the Lord's form his very childhood, certainly becomes a great devotee of the Lord. Prabhupada writing his own life example. We should read this. Someone want to read? Ah.
My father was a pure devotee, and when I was only 4 or 5 years old, my father gave me a couple of forms of Radha and Krishna. In a playful manner, he used to worship these two along with my sister, and I used to imitate the performances of a neighboring temple of Radha. By constantly visiting the neighboring temple and moving the ceremony direction with my own deities of clay, I developed a mutual affinity for the Lord. My father used to observe all the ceremonies. Later on, these activities were suspended by association with schools and colleges, and I became completely out of practice. But in my youthful days, when I met my spiritual master, Sri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, again I revived my old health, and the same playful deities became my worshipful deities with proper regulation. This was followed up until I left the family, and I believe that my generous father gave the first impression which was developed later to acquainted with for service by his values.
This is Prabhupada. He's telling about his personal. Very rarely we find such a purpose. Telling about his own personal things. So this is the way from day one children has to be given such a samskars. But children at the age of 3, 4 nursery and mingling with the non-devotees, and then mobiles, and then after that, what is the Spider-Man, Batman, all these things. Eh? What is that? Iron Man. Maybe yeah. I don't know actually. All these things they used to imitate actually. So that's why they are becoming like demonic, killing and jumping and doing anything adventurous. They want adventurous activities, but there is no cultivation of mode of goodness and devotion. So the whole society will become demonic. Yeah.
Yeah, I will talk regarding this point.
Uh-huh.
So Prabhupada many times said this Krishna consciousness is introduced to the children from very initial days of life, as Varnasrama. But we have seen practically in our movement that the children of Grihastha devotees, they are not so much inclined towards devotion. In fact, they are going completely in the wrong track. So the conception is that uh, if you are a devotee, then your child will definitely gonna be a karmi. This is the conception that is right now in Iskcon. And we are seeing this practically. It's not just saying. We are seeing practically.
Yeah, we are seeing many examples, thousands of examples.
So how to understand this?
Because the main point is so children were sent outside and they are mingling with the non-devotee children. They are learning more so from non-devotee children than from their parents. Because that is the thing. Even if you see in your childhood, we used to learn a lot from our friends actually. That's a simple habit actually. Such a non-devotee association is spoiling their devotion. And second thing is uh, parents and these children, parents also they do commit offenses towards the devotees. These children they do hear of these offenses again and again from the childhood, So instead of starting bhakti, they start hearing the offenses and they develop such a aversion actually from the beginning. Oh, this management did this kind of injustice for me. That management did that kind of injustice for me. That Maharaj fell down, and even after doing this much bhakti, they fell down. And all these they discuss unnecessarily, and they are exposed to negativity also so much. And because of this, what is happening? They are developing so severe offensive mentality. And after that, for children, we don't have any, even one single Gurukula you can't show where, according to the nature of child, so they are trained as per the Shastra and engaged. We don't have any proper Gurukul, and also after Gurukul training, we don't have any proper society. So Varnasrama society to engage. So they are बलि का बकरा बन गया. भले वो तो अच्छा परिवार में जन्म लिया, लेकिन उनका स्लॉटर किया गया, उनका स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ. हम लोग ही कसाई, स्लॉटर करने वाला कसाई लोग. क्या करे तब? तो बाहर लोगों को ऑफेंस करने का मौका कम मिलता है. डिवोटीज की बच्चा को खूब मिल जाएगा, है या नहीं? क्योंकि पेरेंट्स कर रहे हैं तो वो इस उनके बच्चा भी ऐसे है ना, और वो कैजुअली लेंगे इसको. इसलिए वेरी डेंजरस. It becomes so casual, and because our society is also having a duplicity a lot. We have a lot of duplicity, lot of just we instead of core Krishna consciousness, we superficially lavish temple and money flow and engaging so many paid employees, this and that, and name. Such a things given more importance, and this kind of society also will not attract. Is not attracting the people actually. Children. Anything. We have to revive the whole chapter. We all. Yes? Do that. Want to do it? Yes. Otherwise, Prabhupada, the desire, Prabhupada moment. Will you live like this actually and will become selfish? Should not become selfish. Selfish means मेरा भक्ति बन जाए, बाढ़ में बाढ़, काम बनता मेरा, बाढ़ में क्या है? अपना काम बनता है, बाढ़ में जाए. ये सही नहीं. Actually, same point Bhaktivinoda Thakur also saying to Bhakti Siddhanta. Don't stick to your personal progress. This missionary should take it, and activities you should continue whatever you are thinking, and for welfare of the society. That means he is saying that not just to become a Bhajananandi. You become Ghoshchanandi and preach. Do whatever is needed for that preaching. So, because our parampara is like Ghoshchanandi parampara. We do any activity for sake of preaching. Like pure devotees, they do Varnasrama dharma for sake of preaching. Like that, we take up any activity. Even agriculture also we do, tractor, lorry driving also you can do anything. This is. So for that, you should develop strong faith. That's important. Then you can do any activity for sake of preaching. And you always remember Krishna. You can see connection of Krishna with everything. So we people has to take up this mission onto our shoulders. It's necessary. Don't think that someone will clean this and someone will bring the Varnasrama college, someone will bring the Gurukul, someone will change this atmosphere, someone will community development will do. and someone will, yeah, who is that someone? Who should be? Okay. Sarajaputro Vavrudhe. What is it? Sarajaputro Vavrudhe Ashu Shuklayuodupa Apuryamana Pitrubihi Kasta Hiriva Sunvaham Kasta Hiriva Sunvaham.
As the moon in its waxing fortnight develops day after day. The royal prince Parīkṣit very soon developed luxuriantly under the care and full facilities of his guardian grandfathers.
5 grandfathers. Yes. यक्षमाणोऽश्वमेधेन ज्ञातिद्रोहाजिहासया राजा लब्धतनोदग्ध्यो नान्यतयो नान्यत्र करदण्डयो.
Just at this time, King Yudhiṣṭhira was considering performing a horse sacrifice to get free from sins incurred from fighting with. But he became anxious to get some wealth, for there was no surplus funds outside of fines and taxes.
So, Yudhishthira Maharaj was performing Ashwamedha, horse sacrifice, Ashwamedha. After Indraprastha building, what they performed, that is Rashviyaga. That is before battle actually. Now, after battle, what they are performing? Ashwamedha. Ashwamedha yagas, how many they perform? So, 5 Ashwamedha yagas. Each yaga takes how many years? 3 years. Almost all, how many years they ruled? 39 years or 38 years. Something. 38 years total they ruled. After Kurukshetra battle, how many years they ruled? Approximately 36, I think. 36 or something like that. Okay, 1 second, I will let you. 36 years. Almost of 36 or 38 something. कुरुक्षेत्र हो गया, उसके बाद 38 years. इसमें कम से कम और 5 बार वो लोग अश्वमेध याग किए, और 38 years के बाद चले गए. इसकी पहले 38 year की पहले ही 37 year में रूलिंग की कृष्ण चले गए. और उसी समय पर जब लोग ये लोग चलने की पहले ही विदुर भी आए. इसके अर्थ विदुर कितना साल घूमे हैं? ऑलमोस्ट 30. मान युद्ध के पहले चले गए ना विदुर जी. विदुर जी तीर्थ यात्रा के लिए कब चले गए? स्टोरी पता है यार? ये भी नहीं पता. पता है ना आप लोगों को? जब दुर्योधन इंसल्ट किया तब चले गए ना. तो वापस कब आए? आफ्टर द वॉर. इमीडिएटली आफ्टर वॉर ही के काफी टाइम हो जाते. तब तक वो कृष्ण तो चले गए या नहीं? कृष्ण चले गए. वो बात आगे चैप्टर में आगे, नेक्स्ट चैप्टर में वो रिवील नहीं करते. कृष्ण कितना साल थे? मुझे कृष्ण चले गए मैंने फर्स्ट ईयर में ही चले गए क्या? पांडवों जीत लिया और राज्य पालन करना शुरू किया तो तुरंत चले गए क्या कृष्ण? नहीं है ना. तो ऑलमोस्ट ऑल एंडिंग में चले गए ना. तो माने विदुर जी वापस जब आए कुरुक्षेत्र हस्तिनापुर, जब वापस हस्तिनापुर तब तक ऑलरेडी कृष्ण चले गए, अंतर्धान हो गए. तो कृष्ण अंतर्धान हो गए माने इसका अर्थ एंड ऑफ द डेज. इसका अर्थ विदुर एंड ऑफ द डेज में आए. इसका अर्थ क्या है? तो ऑलमोस्ट ऑल 36th ईयर में आए. कुरुक्षेत्र युद्ध होने के बाद 36 ईयर में मैंने 36 ईयर्स घूमे हूं। युद्ध की जस्ट पहले चले गए, 36 ईयर्स घूम के आए। वो तो सब सीख लिए हैं, मैत्रेय से सब सीख के इतना साल घूम घूम के तब आए। ऐसा है, हम भागवत से हमको ये समझ में आता है। तो इसकी बीच में 36 ईयर्स में कई मैंने लगभग मध्वाचार्य के अनुसार 5 बार अश्वमेध यज्ञ किया गया, और एक एक यज्ञ 3 साल का पीरियड में रहता है। तो इसीलिए ये जो अश्वमेध यज्ञ पहले साल किया गया, मैं युधिष्ठिर मैंने युद्ध खत्म होने के पहले साल, युद्ध खत्म होते ही पहले साल मैं उसी समय परीक्षित भी जन्म लिए ना, क्योंकि युद्ध होने की पहले परीक्षित कहाँ है, पेट में तो है ऑलरेडी। तो कितना महीने लगते हैं, 9 महीने ही ना। इसीलिए युद्ध होते ही कुछ महीना के बाद परीक्षित का जन्म हुआ। तो परीक्षित took birth and this ceremony happened. Ashwamedha Yaga also he did actually. Why he did this Ashwamedha Yaga? He was feeling guilty actually. He became the cause for the killing of so many Kshatriyas. So many in the battle of Kurukshetra, thousands and thousands of people, lakhs of people are killed. Na? So he was feeling guilty, sin. He's feeling sin for that. That's why to come out from that sin, Yudhishthira Maharaj also performed Ashwamedha Yaga, and he invited for that Ashwamedha Yaga Krishna actually. Krishna already left Dvārakā. In the 11th chapter we have. That is after immediately fight, he stayed for a few days and he left. So initially he wanted to go immediately, but mother Yudhishthira Maharaj requested, please stay for some time. Then he stayed, and after that he left, and that we have seen 10th chapter, 11th chapter, leaving Hastinapura and entering into Dvārakā. Now after that Parīkṣit Maharaj took birth, that we are seeing in this chapter. So, and also Yudhishthira Maharaj feeling guilty of or feeling sin for becoming he himself, so identifying as a cause for this mass killing of the people, and he conducted Ashwamedha Yaga, and he invited for that also Krishna. So this is the context, you should remember like this. So you see now he doesn't have money for that, to do that, but he became anxious to get some wealth, for there were no surplus funds outside of fines and tax collection. To do the Ashwamedha Yaga, you need a lot of money actually, because thousands of people, Brahmanas are invited, they should be fed. How many years? 3 years for one yaga. They'll be pouring so much ghee and so much farafling, and staying arrangements. 1 day, 2 के लिए हम लोग पसीना निकलता है, उनको तो 3 साल खिलाना है, इतना elaborate process होता है। तो इसीलिए उनके पास बहुत पैसा चाहिए, लेकिन नहीं है। अभी से जस्ट युद्ध हो गए ना, बैंकरप्ट हो गए पूरा, युद्ध में सब खत्म हो गए। तो then what is the solution? So you see, तदभिप्रेतमालक्ष्य प्रातरोच्युत चोदिता धनं उदीच्यां दिशि भूरिशः उदीच्यां दिशि भूरिशः.
Understanding the hearty wishes of his brothers and advisement for Krishna, collected sufficient riches for the nobles that making.
So they went north side actually. North side, if you from the Haridwar, if you go north, you'll be getting Himalayas. In Himalayas, there is one hill is there, Golden Hill. Still it is there. Prabhupada is saying you can go and search. If you are lucky, you can get it. So why there is a Golden Hill? There is a story actually. Maharaj Marut, he is emperor, and his brother is Samvarta. Samvarta is his brother. Through his brother, they did Shankara Yajna. Sankara Yajna. By doing this Sankara Yajna, so by which the Lord was so satisfied that he was pleased to hand over to him the charge of a mountain peak of gold. सोने की पहाड़ मिल गया इस यज्ञ करने से भगवान प्रसन्न होकर उनको दे दी. This peak of gold is somewhere in the Himalaya mountains, and modern adventurers may try to find it there. कोई adventures हैं? Adventurous को यदि तो जाके देख लीजिए. उधर गोल्डन माउंटेन है. He was so powerful and okay. So these people, I can't read this all. So much is there. Actually, that king used to perform big yajnas and used to give charity. Lot of gold. Brahmanas was not able to carry. That much gold was given to them. They all left over there. And Arjuna went there and he picked up all that gold and came back. Through that, he is able to perform. Okay. Tena sam.
Yeah, my question here is that golden पैसे क्यों नहीं लेके mountain से क्यों नहीं? Why collect?
Mountain peak of gold is there. It's like a figuratively distant. So much gold is there. But mountain he can't also bring. He can bring only some extent. तेन संवृत संभारो धर्मपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरा वाजिनेदै स्त्रीभिर्भीतो यज्ञे समयजद्धरिम्. Yes.
By those riches, the king could procure the ingredients for 3 horse sacrifice. Thus, the pious King Yudhistira was very fearful after the battle of Kurukshetra. Please, Lord Hari, the personality of Godhead.
Yeah. So this gold is brought, and using that they are able to procure the various ingredients for 3 horse sacrifices. So Madhvacharya says there are 5 horse sacrifices happened of each of 3 years period. So Mahabharata Tattparya is there. There's a pious King Yudhiṣṭhira who was very fearful after the battle of Kurukshetra. Please Lord Hari, the personality of what is that? Even Maharaj Yudhishthira had to collect the necessary heaps of gold left by Maharaj Marutha and the Brahmanas who were given gold in charity by King Marutha. The learned Brahmanas couldn't take away all the loads of gold given by Maharaj Marutha, and therefore they left behind the major portion of the gift. So one thing actually, whatever this gold, it can't get evaporated and go in the sky. It is definitely there on the earth somewhere. ऐसे ना, अब ये अभी सत्युग हो, त्रेता युग हो, ये तो द्वापर युग हो, पृथ्वी से कुछ तो निकाल के नहीं लिया जाता है ना, निकाल के नहीं लिया जाता है. सभी जो भी अपने कुछ सालों पहले थे माने वो अभी भी हैं, लेकिन वो अभी भी माता पृथ्वी क्या करती है, छपा के रखती है अपने. जैसे पृथ्वी महाराज दोहन किए हैं सब कुछ, सब चीजों को. इसीलिए now also earth is having the capacity of give such opulence, but why it is not visible or is not exhibited? Because of sin, adharma. So as much as people become dharmic and pious, everything will come and manifest. Now so much cow killing and so much yoga karma, because of this people are getting so many diseases. Everything they are using plastic. Previously they used to drink milk in the or some rasam in the golden pots and they used to throw. Now even we don't want to throw steel glasses. Even that mud glass, that's mud pot, that's a ceramic, that also we don't want to throw. Even plastic glasses also we keep. That means itna daridra hai hum. The standards of living is very fallen actually. Kali Yuga people standards worst, the most worst lifestyle actually. और सोने की पात्र में पी के फेंक के चले जाते हैं देखो, ऐसा था एक समय। इतना गाय से भरा हुआ है हर घर में, दूध मक्खन दही, जहां भी कहीं भी घर जाएंगे तो इतना मट्ठा माने छाछ दिया जाता था, छाछ दही दिया जाता था, घी दिया जाता, सब लोग सब्जी घी से बनाते। अभी तो पाम ऑयल से, उससे उसके एक्सट्रीट से बनाते हैं। पेट्रोल से, जो पेट्रोल के रेसिड्यूज में कुछ फ्लेवर्स मिला के हम लोगों को खिलाते हैं एक्चुअली ऑयल्स। ऑयल जो भी है मॉडर्न ऑयल, ये सब इसीलिए वो ऑयल खाने से एक तो खांसी ये सब कुछ होता रहता है, इरिटेशन या इंडाइजेशन। अभी तो अच्छा हो गया ना आप लोग, थोड़ा चेंज आया डाइजेशन में। सरसों का तेल खा रहे हैं, गनी का, गनी का रिफाइंड से नहीं बनता है अभी इधर पूरा। अभी घनी का तेल से बन, रिफाइंड बंद हो गया, सरसों के तेल से बन रहा है, प्योर सरसों का तेल। कम से कम सरसों का तेल है। क्योंकि मार्केट से जो सरसों तेल ले आएंगे वो एकदम आपको ऐसा तो पेट्रोल की स्मेल आता है, एक अलग है स्मेल, इसमें इतना गैस, इतना ये आ जाता है, इरिटेशन होता है आंख, तो उसको तड़का लगाएंगे। सो that was the style. That means as much as now this is a golden era, dharma will be established again this 10,000 years, and people will be very happy and very nice, and so many cows will be, and grazing fields, greenery, so many trees, forest, so many fruits, and nice, healthy food. Everything will be nice. Okay? One should take lessons from the acts of Maharaj Yudhishthira. He was afraid of sins committed on the battlefield and therefore he wanted to satisfy the supreme authority. This indicates that unintentional sins are also committed in our daily occupational discharge of duties, and to counteract even such unintentional crimes, one must perform sacrifices as they are recommended in the revealed scriptures. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Yajnarthat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. So, one question I have. Yudhishthira Maharaj pure devotee or not? Being pure devotee, why he is doing some yajna to purify his sin? Huh? To set an example, that's all. It is not a act of pure devotion, pure devotee. इस पे उनका रेस्पॉन्सिबल होना चाहिए, कोई भी सिंफुल एक्टिविटी के लिए आपको इनडायरेक्टली और डायरेक्टली काज बन देते, वो दिखा रहा है। दैट वे यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड। If Maharaj Yudhishthira is a sinner in his daily discharge of duties in royal administration of state affairs, wherein killing of a man and animals is a recognized art, then we can just imagine the amount of sins committed consciously or unconsciously by the untrained population of the Kali Yuga who have no way to perform sacrifices to please the Supreme Lord. The Bhagavata says, therefore, that prime duty of human being is to satisfy the Supreme Lord by the performance of one occupational duty, 1.2.13. What is that? Atha pumbirjishreshtha varnasrama vibhagasham swanishtitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. It is a duty of entire society. So that's so supreme. Bhagavatam says, therefore, that the prime duty of human being is to satisfy Supreme through their Varnasrama activities. So the bhakti is bonus for us. Varnasrama is common for everyone. Okay, next. Okay. आहूत भगवान् राज्ञा याचयित्वा विजय नृपम् उवास कतिचिन्मासान् सुहृदां प्रियकाम्यया सुहृदां प्रियकाम्यया.
Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, being invited to the sacrifices by Maharaja Yudhishthira, saw to it that they were performed by qualified wise-born Brahmacharis. After that, for the pleasure of the relatives, the Lord remained a fruit.
So after this sacrifice, he stayed for 2 months. Lord. After that, he left. ततो राज्ञाभ्यनुज्ञातः कृष्णया सह बन्धुभिः ययो द्वारकां ब्रह्मन् सार्जुनो यदुभिर्वृतः सार्जुनो यदुभिर्वृतः.
O Śaunaka, thereafter the Lord bade farewell to King Yudhiṣṭhira. Draupadī and other relatives started for the city of Dvārakā, accompanied by Arjuna and other members.
तो अर्जुन के साथ वो द्वारका चले गए. Designed the Bhaktivedanta purpose of first candidate of future of Srimad Bhagavatam title Birth of Emperor Parīkṣit. Now we are going to start the Dhṛtarāṣṭra Iskcon. उनका घर चला देंगे चलो. सुतवाच विदुरस्तीर्थयात्रायां मैत्रेयादात्मनो गतिम् ज्ञात्वा गादस्तिनपुरं तया वाप्तविवित्सितः तया वाप्तविवित्सितः.
While traveling on a pilgrimage, received knowledge of destination of the self of a great sage Maitreya, and then returned to Hastinapura. Became as well versed in the subject as you.
36 years के बाद वापस आने लगे हस्तिनापुर वापस. सो मैत्रेय से बहुत कुछ सीखे. तो सब कुछ तीर्थों को पावन करके आ रहे हैं. Yudhira is purifying all the holy places because he is a pure devotee of the Lord. Tirthi kurvanti tirtha. He purified all the tirthas and is coming. Once again. Is there any one line summary? परीक्षितो जन्म वक्तुं द्रोण्यस्त्रादिकथा यथा अभिषेकं तथा वक्तुं विदुरागमनाद्यभूत विदुरस्योपदेशेन धृतराष्ट्रस्य निर्गमः राज्ञो विषादः शान्तिश्च नारदोक्त्या त्रयोदशे त्रयोदश 13वां अध्याय. 13 अध्याय में क्या क्या पढ़ेंगे तो बोला गया 1-2 श्लोक में. परीक्षित तः जन्म वक्तुं द्रोण्यस्त्रादि कथा यथा अभिषेक तथा विदुरागमना. तो अभी नेक्स्ट हम लोग अभिषेक परीक्षित का अभिषेक के बारे में देखेंगे क्योंकि अभी पांडव जाने के लिए रेडी हो गए. 36 years 36 या 38 ऐसा मुझे क्लियरली नहीं आइडिया याद है नहीं है. 30 या 30 इतना साल वो परफॉर्म किए हैं राज्य का पाल. उसके बाद वो लोग सोचे तो हो गया हमारा. लगभग उस समय युधिष्ठिर महाराज की उम्र 90 साल से ऊपर है. 90 साल हो गए. तो उनका 50 साल उम्र में युद्ध हुआ एक्चुअली कुरुक्षेत्र बैटल 52 और 53. उसके बाद ये लगभग तो 36 माने 88 है did 90 लगभग 90 के 5 मिनट पास में वो सोचे अभी जाएंगे अभी रिटायरमेंट लेंगे तो रिटायरमेंट लेने की पहले परीक्षित महाराज को पट्टाभिषिक्त करेंगे तो उसी की पहले कौन आए विदुर जी आए विदुर जी भी क्यों आए अभी भी मेरा भैया अभी खा रहे हैं चलो उनको भी उद्धार करेंगे बहुत बार ट्राई करते महाभारत में देखेंगे इफ यू सी इन महाभारत so Vidura is trying to uplift the consciousness of his elder brother Dhṛtarāṣṭra several times but he was not listening then finally he became successful some extent but he couldn't become a pure devotee that also we discussed in this chapter so Vidura gives lessons to Dhṛtarāṣṭra that also you see in this chapter Vidurasya upadeshena Dhṛtarāṣṭrasya nirgamah by preaching of Vidura Dhṛtarāṣṭra quits the home quits Hastinapura that also we discussed Prajnaha Vishadaha after knowing this Yudhishthira will become so lamenting Shantischa Naradotya and Narada came back and he will give the information that your uncle and auntie already safely left actually to the higher planets or moksha liberation they got don't worry and you don't need to cry already they are finished by that so with Yudhishthira become so consoled with that Narada's words this we are going to discuss in this 13th chapter okay let's see Vidura arrival actually so Viduras Tirtha Yatraya Maitreya Atmano Gatim Gnatva Agat Hastinapuram Vidura heard all spiritual signs from Maitreya. This we are going to see this Maitreya and Vidura conversation which canto? Third canto, 5th chapter onwards. Okay, but you are seeing here the already that means the written of the Vidura. But when Vidura left, that you will see in the 3rd canto, 1st chapter actually. Vidura left home and went to Tirtha Yatras because Duryodhana insulted him. That also you will be studying in 3rd canto, 1st chapter. Then after that he will meet Uddhava and through Uddhava he will come to know that so he should go to and hear from Maitreya to learn all the spiritual science. Then he will go to Maitreya and from Maitreya he will be hearing all the spiritual knowledge. That spiritual knowledge you will be the hearing of that Vidura from Maitreya you will be seeing from 3rd canto 5th chapter to the ending of 4th canto 5th canto 4th canto ending of 4th canto finish so there Vidura Maitreya conversation you Utana canto chal 3rd canto 4th canto fully conversation between Vidura and Maitreya and that Vidura returns back after learning from Maitreya that you are reading here in the 1st canto don't get confused what is this and what is that so he became as well versed in the subjects as he desired who is Vidura you all know and Prabhupada gave a short story is actually he is Yamadharmaraj and he was cursed by the Manduk Muni because Yamadharmaraj gave injustice for him. So even he is not in the age of knowing sin and what is right and wrong. So for such a sins, so Yamadharmaraj gave punishment to the Muni. So that's why that Muni cursed him to become Sudra. So that's why Yamaraj, so he took birth in Sudra Rani's womb and known as Vidura. Okay. That that Yamadharmaraj portion is there in Indra. Because Indra is the king, na? King means he is having the all other demigods portions in him. So whatever Yamara's portion is there in Indra because as per Shastra, king is storehouse of all the potencies. So justice principle also is there in Indra, and that portion's incarnation is Yudhishthira Maharaj. You see, that's why Yudhishthira Maharaj, also Bhima. Bhima is Vayu. He is not directly Vayu's Putra. Vayu's portion is there in Indra, and that portion's manifestation is Bhima. Indra's portion is Arjuna. So like this, all these five Pandavas are actually Indra himself. And Draupadi is incarnation of Shachi. Huh? So Indra's wife. Shachi only, no? So Shachi's manifestation. That's why she got married to these five people. Is nothing but one Indra. She is not like marrying five people. No. All five Pandavas are. It's where it is there. This story in Adi Parva actually. Wait. You understand that?
Prabhupada explained
Huh?
Prabhupada explained many times that in the previous time Varnashram system was there, but later on that Varnashram system degraded into caste system. Right now we are seeing this. So Prabhupada emphasized many times that once Varna and Ashram completely depend on Guna in karma, as Krishna said, Guna karma vivadashana. But we can see in the scriptures there are so many instances, just like in the case of Vidura, he was so learned, as he was such a qualified person, but still he is called to be a Shudra. We can see the Karna, he had so much Kshatriya qualities, still he was called Sutaputra. So it seems that in previous time, actually the Varnashram system was based on birth, as far as I can see the examples in the Shastras. But it doesn't match with Vaishnava theology. How to understand this? Yes, it was true in the past that from a Brahmana family, Brahmana was born because of Karma Sanskara. But even if we see the opposite case, in the Shudra family, some Brahman quality person was born, but still he was called to be a Shudra. This is a little bit confusing. As you previously told, we cannot completely reject the caste-based system, birth-based caste system. But if person born in a Shudra family have a Brahmana quality, why is called a Shudra? We can see Vidura, Karna, he had Kshatriya quality, he was called Shudra. So I need a clear understanding.
See this. So in the case of actually yesterday I was confused. I was thinking that in our class I was discussing, but I was discussing in evening class. Dhruva Maharaj very strong on his point that he wants to take revenge. He was insulted by his stepmother, and that manabhanga, that means that insult is he is not able to tolerate it, and he wants to retaliate it by getting the higher position than that Suruchi's husband. He is not saying that my father, that Suruchi's husband and his father and उसका बाप का इस लेवल पर बात करते हैं से भी आगे का स्थान में कमाना चाहता इसी का ऐसे चलता है प्रसंग है like that the topic goes there are proper rights actually in that and also he says himself directly Brahma, I am a Kshatriya son actually Kshatriya Kumar. He is just a 5-year-old boy, but now he is claiming as Kshatriya because it is now because of birth. That means it is clearly indicating that caste is decided based upon birth. So in that context, Prabhupada is writing, if the Brahmanical, Kshatriya or Vaishya culture is maintained in a family, naturally the sons and grandsons inherit the spirit of the particular class. Therefore, according to Vedic system, the samskara or the reformatory system is maintained very rigidly. If one fails to observe the reformatory measures current in the family, one is immediately degraded to a lower stand of life. Means if at least five, more than 7 generations, both sides, mother and father side, both reformatory systems are properly, rigidly, if they are maintained, then whatever family culture is there, according to that culture only boy will appear. That class boy will appear.
But what if they are not maintaining the Brahminical culture?
Yeah.
A 5 should birth in their family. So that means will that son be called up Shudra?
That's why you can't simply neglect by birth. Birth, that means caste relation by birth. Birth is also one of the factor. You can't simply, to decide someone's varna, you can't simply neglect, oh, this is birth, we can't take and completely zero. No. If still in India also, if some families strictly, if they are able to maintain these samskaras, you will expect such a varna boy only in that family. So at least some remnants will be there in them. So we are not rejecting birth. This Prabhupada is saying this Prabhupada statement. If the Brahmanical, Kshatriya or Vaishya culture is maintained in a family, naturally the sons and grandsons inherit the spirit. Naturally will come actually. So, but you can't guarantee also. That's why now, previously, if you see in the scriptures, at that time, samskaras are very strictly maintained. That's why you will be seeing the Kshatriyas, children always trained as Kshatriyas in the Gurukul, irrespective of, instead of so much brainstorming on them whether they're Kshatriyas or not. But in scriptures also, in the Mahabharata also, in Bhagavatam also, you can see, you can see so many examples. Brahmana sons are not becoming Brahmanas, they are becoming Kshatriyas. Even Kshatriya sons are becoming Brahmanas, that also you will see. Example, Rishabhadev is a Kshatriya and his 100 sons, 81 became Brahmanas. 9 became, 9 became Navayagendras and 11 became Kshatriyas. So you have so many examples, 8th canto, 9th canto, several you will find. So that's why at that time it's very rare to see the person in that family to not to be that person, that Varna person. So that's why it's not so difficult for them to decide Varna. But now it's opposite. It's very rare to find person having the same Varna of their family. And most of the people are corrupted. Actually, in their ancestors, someone is not being a Brahmana, is doing some Vaishya activity, then he's Varnasankara. And his children will not be, his lineage will not be proper, actually, impure that is. Gone. Impurity will be there. So now, अरे कितना लोग है, कोई भी तो जनेऊ ही नहीं पहनते एक्चुअली बहुत ब्राह्मण 25 साल शादी के पहले उपनयन संस्कार होता है ब्राह्मणों को ये कौन सा तरीका है एक्चुअली इसीलिए अभी गया काम से सब हम लोग अभी पहले से स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं by astrological calculations in character you should know then you will listen. Okay, we are all working on that. You all also can some interest. कौन सा chapter?
That's 1.13.
I 1 point. ये कहाँ चले बैक नहीं जा यही है नीचे हाँ okay so next so Vidura because that is a trend actually birth based varna is obviously expected and even Vidura is very qualified we are not seeing him as actually as Brahman. Sudra brother Dhṛtarāṣṭra, Sudra brother. But the Sudra son of Guru dynasty was equally treated by Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev gave importance for these three. Dhritarashtra, Pandu and Vidura, he respected all of them same, equally he cared. He only brought up them, no, actually. So, although with his other nephews, and in due course, Vidura was married with a girl who was also born in the womb of Sudrani by a Brahmana. So, by Brahmana and Sudrani, such a girl only he married. So, actually, you see, seed who gave Dhritarashtra for the Rajdu. But we call so Dhritarashtra and also Pandu and Vidura as Kaurav. Is there any connection with the Guru dynasty with them? Seminically? No. Seminical connection is there? No, no. Completely different actually. So Vyasdev is son of Parasar actually. And of course, Satyavati is son. So, but mother's side you can't get, na? Since mother's first husband's wife was son. You're all getting this. Vichitravirya and what is another name? Chitranga. So Chitranga तो पहले आउट हो गया. तो विचित्रवीर्य. चित्रवीर्य का ही पत्नियां हैं दोनों. अंबिका और अंबालिका. अंबा तो पहले भाग गई. तो अंबिका और अंबालिका. तो उनकी जमीन को वो तो खेत है. So who gives seed there? Vyasdev. And but son is considered as what? Kuru. Kaurav. How it is? Follow. How they can be Kaurav? Adapted नहीं हो तो seed कौन सा adapted?
Yeah, I think it was a system in the society. I have a similar seen this. As they
वही वो प्रथा है. So, कलयुग में नहीं है. सो भाई का वाइफ भाई तो होते हैं ना क्योंकि एक ही मम्मी है ना दोनों है या नहीं. विचित्रवीर्य का मम्मी कौन? व्यासदेव का. तो ब्रदर्स है या नहीं? ब्रदर्स इसीलिए इस प्रकार. तो लेकिन तब कैसा उनका होगा वो सिस्टम ऐसा ही. तो वो सिस्टम जिसका जमीन है उन्हीं का फसल. पहले वो पिए कोई वो नहीं तो लेबर आके ऐसा बोलने के लिए दान लगा के जाते हैं. बीज लगा के फसल आते हैं. फसल किसका होता है? जमीन वाले का होता है नहीं तो लेबर का होता है. बोलो यार. जमीन किसका? गुरु डायनेस्टी का. विचित्र वीर्य का. इसीलिए बच्चा कौरव है. कौरव ये सिस्टम. यावतः कृतवान् प्रश्नान् क्षप्ता कौशारवाग्रतः जातैकभक्ति गोविन्दे तेभ्यश्चोपररामः. तेभ्यश्चोपररामः. 15-20 मिनट रुकिए. आप लोग लेट आए सब है ना. बहुत लेट आए इसीलिए 20 मिनट रुक. चलो नहीं 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 ज्यादा आश्रम में जाने में आपको पिटाई होगा सब. हाँ बोलो पढ़िए कौन है.
after asking various questions and becoming established in the transcendental service of Lord Krishna, Vidura retired from sense to sense.
Yeah. So Vidura learned all the spiritual knowledge from my guru. So then after that, he returned from that Maitreya's association. So this paragraph you read. One who is not seriously inclined to put questions before spiritual master need not accommodate a showboating spiritual master, nor should a person who may be a spiritual master for others supposed to be so if he is unable to engage his disciples ultimately in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Statement has to be noted. Again, one who is not seriously inclined to put questions before a spiritual master need not accommodate a showboating spiritual master. अरे गुरु का अर्थ शिष्य का अर्थ क्या होता है? प्रश्न पूछना चाहिए. प्रश्न नहीं पूछ रहे मैंने वो गुरु क्यों बना है किसी को? शोबाटी है वो तो. Similarly, now should a person who may be a spiritual master for others suppose to be so if he is unable to engage his disciple ultimately in the transcendental loving service. वो भी गुरु नहीं है. वो गुरु बनने की कोई जरूरत नहीं यदि अपना शिष्यों को सेवा में नहीं लगा पाए. Vidura was successful in approaching such a spiritual master like Maitreya and he got the ultimate goal of life, bhakti unto God. Vidura asked so many questions and learned so much from Maitreya. This is the way so disciple should be. You should put questions to that. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena. Pariprasnena. You should ask questions. Tam bandhumagatam drishtva dharmaputra sahanuja Dhṛtarāṣṭro yudhiṣṭhira sutasya dvatam prutha Gandhari Draupadī Brahman Subhadra Jyottara Grupi Anyāscha Yamaya Pando Yādayas Vasudhāstriya Yādayas Dhṛtarāṣṭra.
When they saw Vidura come to the palace, all the inhabitants, Maharaj listed the younger brothers, Dhṛtarāṣṭra, Śaunaka, Chandigarh, Brahmacharis, Śaunaka, Draupadī, Śaunaka, Uttara, many other wives of the god Raj, but ready with children, all hurried to him in great delight. It so appeared that they had regained their consciousness after a long.
Yeah, when Vidura entered into Hastinapura, all these Dhṛtarāṣṭra, Satyaki, Sanjaya, Kripacharya, Kunti, Gandhari, Draupadi, Subhadra, Uttara, Kripi, all they ran to him. Who is Gandhari? Who is Pratha? This Kunti? As new readers, they don't know this. That's why it's all written in big verse. Subhadra also is mentioned. प्रतिजग्मु प्रहर्षेण प्राणं तन्वा इवागतम् अभिसंयम्य विधिवा परिष्वाङ्गाभिवादने.
With great delight, they approached him. If life had returned to their bodies, they exchanged obeisances and welcomed each other with embraces.
सबका जान वापस आ गया विदुर जी को देख के. बहुत खुश है. मुमुचो प्रेम बाष्पोभं विरहौत्कण्ठ्यगाधरा राजा चक्रे कृतासन परिग्रहम् कृतासन परिग्रहम्.
Due to anxieties and long separation, they all cried out of affliction. King Yudhiṣṭhira then arranged to offer sitting accommodations and a reception.
So they started crying out of happiness. So, and they gave nice treatment for him, hospitality. Tam bhuktavantam shrantam asinam sukhasane Vashayavanto rajna Pratesham cha shadvatam, Pratesham cha shadvatam.
After Vidura ate sumptuously and took sufficient rest, he was comfortably seated. Then the king began to speak to him, and all who were present there listened.
So, yeah. Prabhupada is writing, according to Indian moral codes, even an enemy received at home should be so well received that he will not feel any fearful situation. This is even in the Kurukshetra battle. After the battle is over, 6 o'clock evening, finish everything. When sun sets, battle is over, and even Pandavas used to Kauravas camp, and Kauravas also visit Pandavas camp like that. All sharing and everything is over. And tomorrow morning, wake up, 6 o'clock, they start battle, finish, kill each other. This was. So in Vedic culture, Sanatana Dharma, Atithi Devo Bhava. Even guest is enemy. If he comes to a house, he will be treated very nicely and he will not be having any kind of fear. So this kind of so nice culture, this is misutilized by the Britishers and also Muslims. They easily conquered such a high value people we, and our people having so many values, and these lectures and yavanas, they were not having any kind of moral codes, and they took it as an advantage and they tried to, they destroyed actually. But anyway, Sanatana Dharma never died. It will be there till humankind is there. Cannot be finished. It will be continued. So any enemy is always afraid of his enemy. But this should not be so when he is received at home by his enemy. This means that a person when received at home should be treated as a relative. So what to speak of family members like Vidura, who was a well-wisher for all the members of the family. This is the value system. Actually, day by day, completely we are losing the value system given by Vedas, Sanatana Dharma, Vedic culture, Varnasrama Dharma. So that's why no goodness in the society. So that's why it's very difficult for us to preach also to such a animalistic, lower than animals, such a conscious people. Yudhistira uvacha api smarata no yishma pakshachaya samedhitan vipadganat hidanyadhe mochita yat samatruka mochita yat samatruka.
Yudhishthira said, "My uncle, do you remember how you always protected us along with our mother from all sort of calamities? Your partiality, like the wings of a bird, saved us from poisoning and erosion."
These Kauravas, they are very, very weak people, bad people. They want to kill from the day one Pandavas. Dhṛṭharaṣṭra, Duryodhan, Dushyasan, Karna, and Shakuni. These four people all the time having a group meeting. How to destroy Pandavas. And Duryodhan and Dushyasan, they are the leaders. They want to kill Bhima. They want to put fire and they want to kill all the five Pandavas in a one shot, along with Kunti, in that Lakta Gruha. So, those stories already Prabhupada mentioned in this purport. And Vidura gave so many hints to Yudhishthira Maharaj. There is a plan is happening here to kill all of you. And through hints only he gave indirectly he gave hints. Yudhishthira Maharaj understood and they were saved actually. Like this, Yudhishthira, all the Pandavas are saved by Vidura many, many times actually. If you see in the Kauravas group, if anyone is really standing for Pandavas means that is Vidura. Bhishma also, because of his out of so-called sentiments and his vow, whoever is sitting in the Hastinapura throne, So he will be protecting them. Such a statement he gave to his father. That's why even a bad person, Duryodhana, is sitting and he protected him. But Vidura left that bad association. That's why Vidura is glorious, very glorious. Okay. Kaya vritya vartitam pascharitte kshiti mandalam तीर्थानि क्षेत्र मुख्यानि सेवितानि भूतले सेवितानि भूतले.
While traveling on the surface of the earth, how did you maintain your language? At which holy places and pilgrimage sites did you render service?
जैसे हम लोग भी फुल टाइम ज्वाइन किए. अब ऐसा ऐसा कपड़ा में जाते घर नहीं, पैंट शर्ट पहन के जाते क्या ऐसे जाते हैं ना. तो नहीं, कुछ लोग पैंट शर्ट, ज्यादातर पैंट शर्ट. तो ऐसे जाएंगे तो आप लोग को पूछते हैं ना, तो कहाँ रहते हैं, किस काम में रहते हैं, उधर खाने के लिए पैसा कौन देते हैं, पैसा ये आने जाने के लिए पैसा कौन देते हैं, पूछते हैं नहीं क्या कुछ मिलता है आपको, महीना मिलता है या नहीं. तो माता पिता को कौन देखेंगे यदि आपको महीने नहीं मिलते, उसके लिए क्या करना चाहते हैं, पूछते या नहीं. वैसे ही पूछ रहे हैं चलिए तो युधिष्ठिर महाराज. आप तो 3 साल इतना तो घूमने के लिए गए हैं उधर. So you maintain livelihood. How did you maintain your livelihood? ऐसा हम लोगों को पूछते हैं नहीं, कौन आप लोगों को यदि बीमार पड़ जाए तो कौन देते हैं बीमारी, ये पूछते हैं. कपड़ा. अभी तो आप तो अभी इधर ट्रेन में आए, टिकट कौन दिया, ऑटो वाले से लेकर सब लोग पूछते रहते हैं हर बार. बहुत एक्साइटेड है हम लोग. आप लोग क्या बोलते हैं उस समय, चल रहा है बस, मंदिर वाले, मंदिर वाले, मंदिर वाले. हाँ. So actually, Duryodhana insulted Vidura. This story Prabhupada is also writing here. Duryodhana insulted Vidura by calling him a Sutra's son. So and also he said that you are eating our salt and bread, and you are thinking bad for us, and you are thinking good for my enemies. So you have no gratitude, and you are gratitudeless fellow, like that he scolded him. Duryodhana. So scolded Vidura like that. Then Vidura immediately left. These people are never changing. His father will never change, and also he will never correct his sons. Leave this place. Dhṛtarāṣṭra sitting nicely, hearing everything. अरे चाचा को ऐसा क्यों बोलते, तुम चुप रहो, ऐसा बोलना चाहिए ना. धृतराष्ट्र एंजॉय करते, बस इनोसेंट जैसे एक्शन करते. धृतराष्ट्र सबसे बड़ा कल्प्रिट है पूरा. महाभारत का जो कैरेक्टर्स है वो आप चाहते तो अपना जीवन में भी देख सकते हैं, हर जगह रहते हैं. ये प्रोटोटाइप्स हैं, यू कैन फाइंड एवरीवेयर इन योर लाइफ. So that's why these characters are very important to keep in your brain, so how they can behave in future. ये सब चेस में एक एक कॉइन किया क्या कर सकते हैं. हार से तो कैसा जाएगा, हार्स ऐसा जाएगा है ना, ऐसा जाएगा, नहीं तो ऐसा जाएगा, 3 स्टेप ऐसा करके ऐसा जाएगा ना. और ऊंट क्रॉस, और हाथी, और किंग 1 स्टेप, और मंत्री मिनिस्टर एनी डायरेक्शन एवरीथिंग, सीधा लेफ्ट राइट सब डायरेक्शन में. तो वैसा ये कॉइन्स के एक अलग अलग कैरेक्टर है ना, उससे आप पूरा गेम खेलना आता है. वैसे ये कैरेक्टर्स जो महाभारत में है वो भी आपका लाइफ में रहते. धृतराष्ट्र का बिहेवियर ये सब ये कैरेक्टर्स उधर से आप मैच करके ये लोग क्या करने वाले आगे आप ऐसा कर सकते हैं. So Vidura's mother, this is okay. Maharaj Yudhishthira was inquisitive to learn whether Vidura maintained himself by the mercy of the free kitchen houses. Chatras. Satram bolte hain Telugu mein satram. Previously in villages there will be a free, that means there is a place. So some construction you can get the ingredients by begging. For the sadhus especially this will be there. Also people who travel generally in the olden days, even my childhood also I have seen this kind of arrangements actually. In every village there will be a chatram. There what? So whoever is the passengers, they should enroll there and they can get accommodation for 1 or 2 days. There will be, you will be having some shelf, some lock system you will be having, and also you will be given with this some kind of so utensils, and you can cook. You can get the ingredients by begging in the village. Get that rice, dal, and a few sabjis, and cook it, and clean it, and go keep there, and you go in and walk for your village, because the maximum one person in a day can walk 20 kilometers. If you want to go to the 30-40 kilometers or 50-60 kilometers far distance place, then you will be using this kind of arrangements. Night time to sleep. This was the system actually. Even these yatris, this Tirtha Yatra, sadhus also, they used to use this. So one time you all also should plan for 1-2 months by walk, maybe from North India to South India. Some 6 days, 60 days, or 2 months by walk, going and only begging and eating, and chanting Hare Krishna mantra, and doing kirtan that village. So like this. Huh? This is completely no money, nothing, no arrangements. Like that we should. It will be very nice. Then you'll understand Krishna's mercy how much. There it will develop a confidence. So here Maharaj Yudhishthira is also asking, how you maintain means Krishna, how he maintained you. That is another indirect question. It is 36 years घूम के आया, क्या उनको कुछ हुआ क्या? उनको कभी पड़ा? कुछ भी नहीं. युधिष्ठिर विदुर जी अच्छा से आया. भवद्विदा भागवता स्तीर्घभूता स्वयं विभो तीर्थीकुर्वन्ति तीर्थानि स्वान्तस्तेन गदावृता स्वान्तस्तेन गदावृता.
My Lord, devotees like your good self are very holy places personified. But you are the personified of, because you are the personality of Godhead within your heart. So because you carry the personality of Godhead in your heart, you turn all places into places of bliss.
Tirthi Tirtha. This is the greatness. Okay, we'll stop here. One should also find a representative of Vidura who have no desire in life save except to serve the holy places all over the earth are meant for purifying the polluted consciousness of the human atmosphere, surcharged with the presence of Lord's unalloyed devotees. If anyone visit a holy place, he must search out the pure devotee residing in such holy places. Take lessons from them, try to apply such instructions in practical life, and thus gradually prepare oneself for the ultimate salvation going back to God. To go to some holy place of pilgrimage doesn't mean only to take a bath in the Ganges or Yamuna or to visit the temples situated in those places. One should also find representative of Vidura who have no desire in life save and accept to serve this personality of Godhead. That is the meaning of pure devotee. Means only one desire to serve. The personality of God is always with such pure devotees because of their unalloyed devotion, which is without any tinge of fruitive action or utopian speculation. Last paragraph. So by their action, the pure devotees of the Lord can render any place into the place of pilgrimage, and the holy places are worth the name only on their account. Such pure devotees are able to rectify the polluted atmosphere of any place, and what to speak of a holy place rendered unholy by questionable actions of interested persons who try to adopt a professional life at the cost of the reputation of a holy place. So pure devotees all the time, whatever it may be atmosphere, like Srila Prabhupada went to West and hippie culture, all they became so pure devotees of the Lord. So such a purification a pure devotee can do. Any atmosphere he will purify. Any place. And what to speak of a holy place rendered unholy by the questionable actions of interested persons who try to adopt a professional life at the cost of reputation of a holy place. In the holy place nowadays, the reputed people they do they do stay there for reputation. Oh, Mayapur Vasi, huh? Varnan Vasi, Ram Vasi, reputation. उससे वो कभी इधर विजिट करके अच्छा से अपना रेपुटेशन यूज करके प्रोफेशनली वो कुछ प्रोफेशनल कथा करते हैं लोग से दान इकट्ठा करते हैं एंजॉय करते हैं so they can't purify anyone actually. So Prabhupada gave this pure devotion to all of us and he asked all of us to make every place as a holy place by spreading the pure devotion service. Now slowly we are stop discussing also. Practicing is the next thing. There is no discussions on pure devotion. There is no discussion on how to become pure devotee. That's a Dhṛtarāṣṭra. So full surrender, complete surrender. Now all the classes, most of the classes, we try to just conditioning and pampering the conditioning of the people and trying to just to pacify or pamper them so that they can become your follower and your group. ऐसा होने लगा. Low standard. Mr. Bhakti and lower than that. Then that atmosphere very soon will become full of neophytes and lower than that. Prakrita Bhaktas and fighting, quarreling and seriousness. There will be no progress and no purification. That's why we should always remember the teachings of pure devotees and pure devotion. We should have focused for that. Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions? There are so many chapters still. How many days? 3 days are there. 3 chapters, more than 3 chapters. This chapter 60 slokas are there. What? Huh? This 60, 44, 55. 54 and 55. 50. 51. 50 करके चलना है बस पिकअप नहीं हुआ 3 दिन में 50 किया कल से थोड़ा स्पीड करेंगे
I was reading the 7th chapter of First Canto. In that chapter, it is explained that how Ashwatthama beheaded the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi Pandavas, and they returns.